What's going on YouTube? GZTV here to talk about the basketball games from tonight. We had 7 of them. That's pretty standard. Obviously, with the NFL playoffs going around, they want to kind of space the games out, so there's not like a taking away, mic check, for ratings and stuff. So yeah, we had 7 games. We're going to talk about them all. We're going to first talk about my Celtics. You guys know how it goes. Don't know why this isn't focusing. It's the last video of the night. I know I'm getting kind of lazy with the thumbnails, but Paolo Banchero, Jonathan Isaac, and the Magic and the Celtics 9-game win streak. They win by 15. I don't know what it is. We have all year the Celtics have not been able to beat the Magic. Great scoring for Paolo Banchero. Jonathan Isaac played in an NBA game for the first time in 2.5 years, and the Magic broke the Boston Celtics 9-game win streak. Defense to offense for this Magic team. I mean, Bobo was playing good defense. Cole Anthony showing how even the small guys can get up. Jason Tatum was clutching his side. He shot a 3-pointer. He was clutching his side. He left the game, so we got to hope my boy is okay. Franz Wagner was passing the rock. It was a really cool moment to see Jonathan Isaac get in there and score his first points since his injury. Tough finishes at the rim for Paolo Banchero, though. Just switching hands. And yeah, looking at the Celtics, Jason Tatum, despite the injury, still put up 26 off of 40% three-point shooting, 26 points for Jaylen Brown. Obviously, we hope Jason Tatum is okay, and obviously Blake Griffin and being in the lineup, J.D. Davison not really playing that much, Justin Jackson coming off the bench for us and not playing great. We kind of have some guys that need to fill out a rotational role, and with Tatum being hurt, it didn't really happen. So 23 points there for Paolo Banchero. Got to give him credit. 60% three-point shooting, 21 points, 11 rebounds for Wendell Carter off of 75% three-point shooting. So good game for the Magic. They're creeping back up in the standings. They are not looking to tank. Let's talk about the Bucks and Pistons. There's not really much to talk about this game. It was kind of a shitty game. 20-point first quarter for Giannis in this one. He did miss a single shot in the first quarter. Marjon Beauchamp had a nasty dunk for the Bucks in this one. Drew Holiday leaning into the defense, getting tough shots to fall. Very smooth offense for Giannis, throwing it down on everyone. And he's just such a majestic player to watch. He makes tough shots. He does it so effortlessly. And yeah, 29 points and 12 rebounds for him. He shot 50% from the three-point line. 21 points for Brook Lopez as well, off of 33% three-point shooting, 67% from the field. Bobby Portis, one of the best 6 men in the league, came off the bench, 18 points, 10 rebounds, and he shot 67% overall. Obviously, a lot of problems with the Pistons, especially their defense letting up 150 points in a game. Boggy, though, 33 points. You got 21 points out of Sadiq Bey off of 33% three-point shooting, 23 points, 15 rebounds for Jalen Duren. He played great. He is going a little bit under the radar with the rookies this season. And Jaden Ivey even had 12 points and 11 assists. It's just, the other guys, Isaiah Livers, Kevin Knox, Nerlens Noel, Corey Joseph, Alec Burks, Rodney McGruder. It's just everyone else on this team that needs to... granted, Hamidou Diallo played pretty decent off the bench, but other than that, they have some problems. Obviously, they're hoping to fix that up here in the next coming years in the draft. So, let's move on to the Hawks and Bulls. DeMar DeRozan scores 26 in his 1,000th game. The Bulls beat the Hawks by 11. 1,000th career game, and he is still scoring better than ever. Nikola Vucevic, great rebounding, some decent scoring as well to help the Bulls get this win. At home, the Bulls were able to outlast the Hawks. Trae Young, lob attempt turned into a basket. We've seen that happen a couple of times for Trae Young throughout his career. It's an interesting thing. DeMar DeRozan was just hitting so many shots. Vucevic getting the momentum up for the Bulls, getting some powerful plays. Trae Young was getting some tough ones to fall. But, you look at this and, 16 points, 12 rebounds for Clint Capella, 21 points, 13 assists for Trae Young, 20 points for DeJounte Murray. But, I wish they'd get a guy like Frank Kaminsky going off the bench. What's going on, Caesar? It'd be nice to see them get guys like Frank Kaminsky, a guy who's been in the league for a while, going off the bench. But the Bulls, 18 points, 10 rebounds for Patrick Williams, 50% from three. Role player that played pretty well. 26 points for DeRozan. He shot 50% from three. 14 points, 17 rebounds for Vucevic. 20-point performance for Levine. Just so many guys pitching in for this team. This is what the Bulls have wanted to see all year, and obviously they're still not that good of a team at all, but if they can get more games like this, and the Hawks, granted, aren't a bad team either, so them getting this win was pretty important. Let's move on to the Timberwolves and the Rockets. Jalen Green scores a career-high 42. Man, he has been on a tear recently. Jalen Green has been playing phenomenal. The Rockets end a 13-game skid. Yes, coming into this game, they lost 13 straight games. Best scoring night, though, for Jalen Green on his career. And the Rockets held on to a 5-point win. Jalen Green getting deep shots to fall. D'Angelo Russell fell into the crowd and ran into A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez, that was interesting. Kenyon Martin Jr., such an athletic player for the Rockets. He had a nasty dunk. Jalen Green, just such good offense, though. And they were playing against Anthony Edwards. It was obviously tough for them, so he was hitting threes on them all night, but the Rockets were able to overcome. So, yeah. But looking at the Timberwolves, 15 points, 16 rebounds for Rudy Gobert, 30 points for D'Angelo Russell off of 50% three-point shooting, and 31 points for Anthony Edwards off of 60% three-point shooting. So, yeah, they definitely had some good performers. But it's just guys like, Kyle Anderson and Naz Reid that they need a little bit more out of, and they weren't quite able to get that. Their front court needs some work. Obviously, they've been trying to adjust all season without Karl Anthony Towns. So, looking at the Rockets, 21 points for Alperen Sengun. Great player, honestly. He might be able to go for most improved here next season, but yeah, 21 points, 50% three-point shooting, 67% from the field. And we have Jalen Green, probably his best game of his career, 42 points, 50% three-point shooting, 60% from the field. Those two guys played really well for the Rockets, and they're guys that they can have moving forward with the rebuild there. Hornets and Jazz, not really a great game, but Lauri Markkanen scored 25. The Jazz beat the Hornets. The Hornets only made 2 3-pointers the entire game. But Lauri Markkanen, I keep saying Lauri, it's a Lauri Markkanen, great performance, all-star level performance. He's been playing at this level all year. Great scoring, rebounding the ball. Man, Charlotte Hornets were very cold in this one, and the Jazz took advantage of it. They won by 18. Ochai Agbaji, the young guy, dropping some dimes. THT was getting to the rim and getting aggressive. Gordon Hayward was getting some tough ones to fall. So was T-Row, and THT was passing the ball. Taylor Horn-Tucker. But, yeah, Jazz were able to win the game. The Hornets really... Rozier had 23 points. That's about it for them. P.J. Washington, guys like P.J. Washington, J.T. Thor, didn't really play too well, so hopefully they can play better for the future. I kind of feel bad for LaMelo. He is in a shitty situation right now. This is possibly the worst situation he'll probably ever have to face in his career. This is bad right now. But the Jazz, 25 points, 11 rebounds, obviously, for Lauri Markkanen, 50% three-point shooting. Put the man in the All-Star game. I don't care what anyone says. He is an All-Star caliber player. Lauri Markkanen is a great player. He might be top 20, top 15 in my opinion. He's been playing at a different level. So let's move on. Spurs, Blazers. These last 2 games, I don't know what's up with the NBA in these late window games, but these games are always just terrible. Damian Lillard scores 37. The Blazers beat the Spurs by 20. They stopped a skid. They were losing some games for a while, but they're able to win an easy one against a tank team. Great. Damian Lillard not just scoring, but also passing the ball. Yeah, they were on a 3-game losing streak, and now they're trying to build themselves back up. Obviously, Damian Lillard did his job. Shaedon Sharpe, I mean, hopefully he's in the dunk contest. He has had some nasty dunks this year as a rookie. It's very impressive. Damian Lillard, deep threes to go. Romeo Langford had a tough shot. I was watching that game, and they had like the Bill Walton weird like podcast, like watch along how they have the Manning cast with the NFL and stuff. They had that happening. It was very weird, but yeah, Romeo Langford, tough shot, former Celtic. Good to see him thrive in a different environment. Jeremy Sohan's just a playmaker, man. He's actually pretty good. I think the Spurs have a future on a guy like that. But anyways, 20 points for Keldon Johnson. I mean, that's really it. Off the bench, you got a series of guys that just kind of underperform. Stanley Johnson, Keita Bates-Diop, Georgie Weijang, just guys like that. George Weijang, obviously a veteran. The other guys are kind of like mid-level in their career. But, I mean, obviously the Blazers played well. I'm not taking it away from them. They played great. Yusuf Nurkic, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 50% from 3. There were a couple of interesting stories about him during the game that I learned about. It was actually pretty cool to learn some stuff about him. 37 points, 12 assists for Damian Lillard. I would have been more engaged if it was a better game, though. I mean, 26 points for Anthony Simons as well, 60% from the field. He might be a most improved candidate. I think he's really good. Anthony Simons is good as hell, and they're going to need him if they want to make a run here. So, Grizzlies, Kings, obviously no John Morant. We knew this wasn't going to be a good game. Kings used early threes, a big fourth quarter to beat the Grizzlies. They won by 33. Trey Lyles, best scoring night of the season. You don't get that often, so that kind of just added onto the pile. Sacramento had one of their best first quarters ever, and Harrison Barnes was a big part of that. And then, yeah, obviously the Memphis Grizzlies, very short-handed, didn't have a lot of their stars. Sabonis got a triple-double. He was getting up, he was throwing shit down. Malik Monk, great ball movement, also getting in transition and putting on a show for the fans. Yeah, Malik Monk was a pretty big piece of this game too. Tough shots. It goes really bad. Holy shit. Okay, looking at the Grizzlies, it's really just that a 21-point performance for Desmond Bane off of 75% three-point shooting. I mean, not much else to talk about. Like John Konkar, like, I don't know. There's not much they can do right now with their situation with Dame, him being hurt or resting, whatever. I don't know why you'd rest against the Kings. They're one of the best teams. They're not one of the best teams in the NBA. They're one of the hottest. And 14 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds for Sabonis, 20 points for Harrison Barnes, 67% from 3, 60% from the field, 20 points for Keegan Murray. He has been playing great recently. De'Aaron Fox had 17 points, 10 assists, 33% from 3, 50% from the field, 24 points off the bench for Trey Lyles. He shot 75% from 3. I mean, they can just have any guy in any given moment on a night just step up, and that's why the Kings are so good. And, I mean, if you look at the rankings here, that would show you, I mean, people are surprised that they're a top 3 team in the West, but I'm no longer surprised. You have guys like Harrison Barnes, Trey Lyles, somewhat late in their careers, just putting up numbers like this, and that's something that any team